The world is full of people playing a game you didn't know was being played. You follow the rules. You work hard, you're honest, and you try to be a good person. But you watch in confusion as others, who seem to ignore all the rules, rise to power effortlessly, getting everything they want. They possess a kind of psychological superpower. What is it? The truth is, this isn't magic. It's a set of 3 psychological traits known as the Dark Triad: Narcissism, Machiavellianism, and Psychopathy. For too long we have seen these as only clinical terms, confined to the textbooks of psychologists. But they are not just diagnoses, they are a ruthless playbook of modern power. They are the keys to a game that is being played in boardrooms, on social media, and in relationships all around you. In this deep dive we will pull back the curtain on this ruthless playbook. We will analyze each trait, not to teach you how to be this way, but to arm you with the ultimate form of self-defense. By the end of this video, you will be able to identify the red flags of each trait, understand their ruthless tactics, and, most importantly, discover the strategic countermoves to defend yourself. This is your guide to understanding the dark side of power. This is patrology. The first trait of the Dark Triad is narcissism. This is more than just vanity. It's a pervasive pattern of grandiosity, an overwhelming need for admiration, and a profound lack of empathy. To a narcissist, the world is a stage, and they are the only actor who matters. Everyone else is simply a prop or a member of the audience, there to admire them. Their sense of self is fragile and they constantly crave validation to prop up their inflated ego. They use charm as a weapon. At first, they will be the most charismatic, captivating person in the room. They will praise you, flatter you, and make you feel like the most important person in the world. This is a tactic to win your admiration and loyalty. But once they have it, they will begin to demand it. The constant need for praise becomes exhausting. They will take credit for your work, dismiss your feelings, and gaslight you into believing that your own perception of reality is wrong. They see relationships as a one-way street, where you are there to provide them with the validation they so desperately crave. To identify a narcissist, watch for these red flags. Do they constantly talk about themselves, interrupting others to redirect the conversation back to their own achievements? Do they get unreasonably angry or defensive when criticized, even gently? Do they seem incapable of acknowledging their own mistakes, always blaming others for their failures? Are they masters of flattery and charm, but seem to lack genuine, deep empathy when others are in need? A crucial distinction to make here is between a narcissist and a merely confident person. A confident person can celebrate the success of others, can admit when they are wrong, and can take constructive criticism. A narcissist cannot. A confident person's self-worth comes from their own internal achievements. A narcissist's self-worth is entirely dependent on external validation, and they will go to great lengths to get it. Think of the modern social media influencer whose entire career is built on a narcissistic feedback loop of needing validation from an audience they see only as a source of attention. Your countermove is to stop playing their game. Never get into a public debate with a narcissist. You cannot win, and you will only fuel their need for attention. Do not give them the validation they crave. Instead, be polite but emotionally detached. Do not argue with them, but state facts. When they try to gaslight you, simply say, "I understand that's how you see it, but that's not what I remember." You are not engaging in a battle of wills. You are simply refusing to be a part of their performance. The second trait is Machiavellianism. Named after the political philosopher Machiavelli, this trait is all about manipulation. A Machiavellian person is a cold, cynical, and calculating strategist. They believe that the ends justify the means. They are not ruled by ego or a need for admiration like the narcissist. They are ruled by the pure, unadulterated desire for power, control, and material gain. They see people not as individuals with feelings, but as pawns on a chessboard to be moved, manipulated, and sacrificed for their own gain. They are masters of deception. They will lie, cheat, and manipulate with no remorse, as long as it gets them what they want. They are patient. They will play the long game, waiting for years to get into a position of power. They are brilliant at feigning emotions they do not feel, and they are masters of impression management. They will appear charming, polite, and trustworthy, all while secretly undermining their rivals and exploiting those around them. They will play on your own feelings of guilt, obligation, or loyalty to get you to do their dirty work. To identify a Machiavellian, watch for these red flags. Do they have a cynical view of human nature, often saying things like, "Everyone is just out for themselves"? Do they seem to have a detached, almost robotic approach to relationships? Are they very good at flattery and ingratiating themselves with those in power, while quietly backstabbing those who are not? Do they show a pattern of using other people, then discarding them when they are no longer useful? A powerful case study for this is Machiavelli himself. As a political operative in 16th century Florence, he had no moral qualms about advising a prince to be feared rather than loved. For him, it was a practical matter. The prince needed to maintain power, and fear was a more reliable tool than affection. This kind of detached, goal-oriented view of people is the essence of Machiavellianism. He saw politics not as a matter of morals, but as a game of strategy, where people were pieces to be moved. Your countermove is to not show your hand. A Machiavellian wins by understanding your motivations. Do not reveal your weaknesses or your true desires. Never get into a verbal contract with them. Always get it in writing. Do not do a favor for a Machiavellian unless it is also to your own benefit. Treat them as you would a business rival, not a friend. You are not fighting on a field of emotion. You are fighting a cold, calculated game of chess. The third and most dangerous trait is psychopathy. This is not the stereotypical movie villain. It is often found in the most charming, successful, and seemingly stable people you know. A psychopath lacks empathy, but unlike the narcissist, they do not crave admiration. And unlike the Machiavellian, they do not just use people as a means to an end. They often enjoy the act of manipulation itself. They are impulsive, highly intelligent, and have a profound disregard for social norms or the feelings of others. They are completely unburdened by guilt or remorse, which makes them incredibly dangerous. They are masters of mimicry. They will watch others and flawlessly imitate emotions and social behaviors to get what they want. They will lie and break promises with no hesitation. They will take immense risks and show a shocking impulsivity. They will use a cold, predatory gaze to intimidate and dominate others. They view people as a source of amusement, a tool for their desires, or an obstacle to be removed. They can charm their way into a position of power, then betray and abandon those who helped them get there, all with a smile on their face. To identify a psychopath, watch for these red flags. Do they have a pattern of breaking promises with no remorse? Do they show a lack of deep emotion, even in situations that would cause extreme grief or sadness? Do they take immense impulsive risks with no regard for the consequences? Do they have a superficial charm that seems to captivate everyone around them, but that feels empty and disconnected upon closer inspection? A powerful case study is the con artist. Their success depends entirely on their ability to mimic emotions. They feign empathy to gain your trust. They feign remorse to get a second chance. And they feign vulnerability to get you to lower your guard. But underneath the mask, there is nothing. Their success depends on their ability to see you not as a person, but as a mark. When you're their victim, you are not even a pawn on their chessboard. You are simply an object to be used for their amusement and gain. Your countermove is total avoidance. You cannot win a game against someone who has no empathy and feels no remorse. You cannot appeal to their conscience. The best strategy is to simply remove yourself from their orbit. If you cannot, you must refuse to engage with them on any emotional level. Do not trust them with secrets. Do not lend them money. Do not do favors for them that leave you vulnerable. Do not mistake their charm for genuine kindness. You are not a player on their chessboard. You are an object to be used. Refuse to be used. The Dark Triad is a ruthless playbook for modern power. Narcissists will make you a part of their performance. Machiavellians will make you a pawn in their game. And psychopaths will make you a victim of their cold disregard. But understanding these traits is the ultimate form of self-defense. This knowledge is your shield. It gives you the ability to identify the players, to see the game being played, and to choose whether or not you will participate. It gives you the power to protect your energy, your sanity, and your very soul. You cannot win a game you don't know you're playing, but once you know the rules, you are no longer a pawn. You are an observer, you are a strategist, and you are a master of your own destiny. If you are ready to master the dark side of power, then subscribe to Powerology for more deep dives into the science of strategy and self-mastery. Now, for our community of strategists. In the comments below, share which of these 3 traits you have seen most clearly in action in your own life.